Self-defense. The defense of one person's or interest, especially through the use of physical force, which is permitted in certain cases as an answer to a charge of violent crime. There are many people who are famous for self-defense, like urban survival training, and today we're going to see if Cyraxx's self-defense advice can truly help you in a dangerous situation. We're going to first look at his self-defense teachings, then compare them to his win/loss ratio in real life. Can Cyraxx's self-defense truly get you out of a dangerous situation? Let's start by looking at his most recent self-defense video.
How to use everyday items as self-defense tools that are legal in every state across the board, in all 50 states. And today we're going to be going over one of my personal favorites that I use all the time, that I carry with me, which are these 9mm guitar jacks. You can get these at Walmart, you can get them at Guitar Center, Amazon, eBay, wherever you guys do your shopping at, more than likely you can get these. Now, I know what you're thinking, well, dude, those are guitar jacks. What are they going to do? Well, there's a mindset that you have to have. And that mindset is that everything on you is a weapon. Whether it's your keys, necklaces, bracelets, obviously your hands, rings. Everything you have on you can be a weapon in the right circumstance, including these. And these are not sharp. I know what people are going to say, well, can't you stab somebody with these? No. Guitar jacks are not sharp. They have blunt, rounded ends. As you can see right there, they are blunt. They are not sharp. Now, they will leave an indent. They will leave an imprint on you whenever you do it hard enough. They will leave an indentation. Now, one thing that you can...
So, they can't puncture, but they can't crush like a hammer or baton. So, from what he's describing, it's just a less effective form of biting, since it's supposed to leave an indent instead of a cut if you do it really hard. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't guitar jacks fragile? If you're getting mugged on the street and you try and stab someone who's pointing a knife or a gun at you, they could just shrug it off and they start shooting or stabbing you. And in Chance's case, even if you sneak up and try and jab Sally in the neck with this, she'll be fine and she'll probably beat your ass.
I don't think anything of it, because when you punch, you're not going like this. You're going like this. You want to punch like that. Now, the thing you can do is when you're punching, you can take the inside of your thumb, press it out like that. So essentially you can go, as you're coming around, say I'm throwing a punch, right? Say I'm throwing a jab. As you're throwing the punch, you want to come around, push out, and strike down. Just see, as you're doing it, you're basically creating a hammer fist. They're thinking you're going to throw a punch, but really, you're throwing that hammer fist. But they don't see this coming. All they see is a fist flying at their face. They're not seeing, oh, silver object, pointy, let me get out of the way. They're seeing your hand coming, and at the last second, you're deploying it out of your fist and into their neck, their face, wherever you need to deploy it to remain safe.
Alright, so the first technique Cyraxx is employing is a hammer fist. But I don't think it'll work because, as you can see, he has small hands. And it's not just that. His arms, couldn't really do that much damage. He doesn't really have any good strength feats, and I don't believe the Goblin's arms have much muscle behind it. And in the Instinct files, he reveals that the Goblin's body is so fucked up that he can't eat solid food without getting sick. And there's a whole thing, there's a whole list of things Ed confirmed / revealed, and I'd recommend watch an entire video dedicated to Ed Stein files themselves. But Ed pretty much says Chase gets sick if he eats hot food. So usually he just eats canned ravioli and peaches and like cool down hot pockets and shit. So it's not like he's getting all those important proteins. And the reason why I bring this up is because, you know, the goblin's at least 4'9" to 5'1" to 5'2" maybe. And with his fucked up shoulders, that limits his already nerfed range heavily. And with the food that he eats and the fact he doesn't work out, there's no chance he'll do any real damage if he actually hits you. And if he actually jabs you with his guitar jacks, he admits it. They can't puncture or stab or anything. It's just going to feel like an oversized headphone jack, you know, like hitting against you.
Now, one good thing is if you have the time to do it, here's one cool trick that you can do. Is you can use it like this. Have two of them in your fist. You know, boom, boom. You can hammer fist with it. Or you can slide them inside each other and use it, you know, combat knife style. Just you know, you can use it in a combat knife situation. And one good thing that you can do is if you hold it like this right here, is say that somebody's got you by the shirt and they got you by two hands, you can actually come down and come up with it and do real damage. Because when you're coming down on solid bone on somebody, that's gonna hurt. That's metal hitting against bone right there. That's like, as you're coming down, you can hear it you can just hear that you can hear that impact. And as you're coming back up, you can, you know, hit pressure points all up in here. There's muscles that you can hit using this. And as you're dragging up, you're basically, you can hear that just. Now imagine doing that, you know, as hard as you can, just boom, boom, boom.
He has no idea about anything he's talking about. He's acting as if he's Bruce Lee and he like jabs his guitar jacks into the right like pressure points, and just paralyzes your like arm and leg instantly. And then you can see the goblin's like demonstrating hitting like his own wrist, and it sounds absolutely weak. How would hitting like under the forearm, not even like the elbow, just under the forearm, achieve anything? Like, how is this supposed to stop someone from robbing you? Alright, hold on, picture this. Imagine you're walking down some dark-ass alleyway, and suddenly a robber comes to rob you with a knife, and you feel adrenaline flood your veins, you reach for your guitar jacks, you start jabbing in his forearm to defend. Tink! 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 What the fuck? The fuck, you use an AIDS needle? No, wait. It's not an AIDS needle. He's stabbing me. He's stabbing me. Like that's all I can picture happening. This is just how you get shanked. This will do no damage. And it won't defend you in any way. And I'm starting to think that like this is Chance actually hoping the trolls see his video and they humor him, and or for some other reason try out his advice and get themselves killed. There is no other reason besides that.
And the cool thing is, if they're coming at you and you want to go double fist, you can do that. You can literally take and deploy one out of one hand, slide it out and into the other. So basically you're just going to, again, you just want to say something's coming at you. You can just deploy one into one hand and get at the ready. Just again, you wanna, when you're doing that and you see them coming at you, you can either do like I said, or if you wanna, if they're coming quick and you know you're not gonna be able to use that knife technique, you can literally just deploy one into one hand and boom, 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 boom. You know, do whatever you gotta do.
The goblin mentions how you could put his guitar jacks together in your fist and you could use it that way, but that's just the worst option. If you're like Chance and you have weak arms, deformed shoulders, and weak wrists, like why would you even suggest getting up like more close and personal? Because the goblin can't take a punch. When Low T punched him, he got up, but he began crying, "Ow! I can't get up!" to his mom, like Sally, minutes later when she was calling the cops. And Sally could tell he was bullshitting because he told him to get the fuck up, but he was still bitching. And if you were to punch Cyraxx as hard as you can, it's not like his head's gonna explode or his brain's gonna hemorrhage, but he's going down. He's gonna be out. And I think Marty must have been a stronger than Low T because Cyraxx was screaming at the top of his lungs after getting punched in the nose. The Goblin can't take a punch, so I have no clue why you'd want to nerf his range even more. If you're fucked up like the Goblin, you'd want as much range as possible, or like as much leeway to, have distance, but it's just durability's ass.
But like I said, this is just one tool that I carry on me on a daily basis. I carry these everywhere I go. Whether I'm going to the store, whether I'm going out for a walk, whether I'm just going out onto my porch to check the mail. Like, I always have these on hand. I carry them around the house from time to time. Especially when family is at home, given the nature of, that people know where I live and stuff like that. So, yeah. But like I said, these are great self-defense tools that are non-lethal. You can get these at pretty much any store for a few dollars. Super simple, easy to pick up. You can carry them anywhere. They're legal in all 50 states. These are self-defense. These are non-lethal. These are blunt. Puncturing anything. These are for, to, cause pain and do whatever you can to get away from your would-be attacker. And that also creates enough space for you to get away and escape.
Alright, that's pretty much where the Cyraxx self-defense video ends, so let's rate the pros and cons of the two 9mm jacks. Pros, it's extremely cheap. You can carry these on the street in all 50 states, so they're easily accessible. And they are really small, and they can fit in your pocket for easy use. The cons, guitar jacks are extremely brittle. It's just a metal piece, or a small metal piece with a plastic connector. It's not made to be a weapon. It won't really be effective. Cons, it's small, so it has short range, like really short range. You have to get like up close and personal to like up in their face pretty much to use it. Cons, well, I think the most important one, it can't puncture or stab. It does barely any damage, thus making it easy to carry on buses and planes because it really can't do any damage. And 100% of the time, it's just gonna get you shot if you're in a robbery. And I'm just going to give this a 1 out of 10, It's just more of a liability, if anything. You are way better off with a pocket knife or a taser, or just use your Second Amendment rights and get a gun. I know that's impossible for the 339 Lloyd Street Goblin, but literally a rock would be better for self-defense, or like a bag of pebbles. Now we're going to take a look at Cyraxx's washing machine on a string thingy, and we're going to see if it fares any better than the guitar jacks. And, I have hope in the little goblin. Let's give him a chance.
Anything that you have on your person can be used as a weapon. But today, we're going to focus on one in particular that I always wear on hand that not a lot of people realize can be used as a weapon, which is a handmade ring necklace like this. Now, see, a lot of people think like, oh, that's just a necklace made of giant washers. That may be true. That may be true. But today I'm going to show you guys how you can effectively, use this as a self-defense weapon. Now, I'm not encouraging everybody to go out and make one of these and, start going attacking people. But no, like if you want to make these, they're super simple to make. All you do is you grab a couple washers, grab some, cording, some rope, whatever. And then what you want to do is you want to make your typical, necklace, your typical necklace type thing. You want to tie the two ends together, wrap it around, and do it like I did right there. As you can see, I connected the two together and then tied it off. And then I connected, these two ends right here to make it solid. But today I'm going to show you guys how to effectively utilize this as a self-defense tool. Now, in any fight, no fight is ever going to be fair. You're going to have, people that are going to fight unfairly. They're going to want to try to get at you. No fight's ever going to be fair, let's be honest. You see all these people out there saying,
The reason why I'm suddenly stopping now is because him talking about people fighting dirty reminds me of the Cyraxx Marty fight aftermath videos, where Cyraxx would start screaming, "Marty, you used your weight against me, bitch!" And would start screaming about how Marty wasn't a quote-unquote real fighter, how he cheated, how he fought dirty. Seemingly here he's singing a different tune. He's saying no street fight is fair. And it's just hypocrisy coming from the Goblin. Chance expects Marty to follow every single rulebook, no eye gouging, no leg kicks, just slowly walk towards them with his hands behind his back, and just let himself get hit while the Goblin gets Sally's drug needle, a baseball bat, a screwdriver, some bedbug spray, etc. I can't take this seriously. Knowing there's a Marty diss track made by Cyraxx where the entire thing is, "You used your weight against me," after he got recorded to 1,000 people, that he got his ass beat and he was screaming for mercy and calling him the king.
"You ain't nothing but a kid pretending to be a man. See, when you fought me, you used your weight. You use your weight against me when I fought you, because you know if I had a shot I would have fucking destroyed you. You're a lazy fucking crack daddy who gets strong off of using money, kicks and blades. That's all you give a fuck about. At the end of the day, you ain't about anything. Now this is something, like I said, I've had to build my own arsenal of weaponry over the years for self-defense, because obviously, I don't have money, so I kind of had to make do. Now with something like this, you want to have it at about what I have it at, which is right about here, right about mid-stomach, because that gives you good range. That gives you good close-up range and whatnot. Now, one defense that I like to do is say that somebody's got you down. They got you pinned. And the only way that you can do anything is to reach toward your stomach. You're always going to have access to your stomach a lot of the times. Now, one thing I like to do is this. You take, one or two of your fingers, and you can just start, you grab it like this, and you can just start jabbing it in, driving it into their skin, just twisting, turning, doing whatever you can to, apply that uncomfortability. Now, just for pure example here, let me show you guys just the kind of damage that you could do. I'm not going to cut myself or anything, but I am going to show on my hand just what you can do. So, say somebody's got me pinned down, they got their arm on me or something, and they're like, there's a limb or some sort of body in my way. I'm pinned down, I can't really do much. I can't move. Say they got their hand around me and they're holding on to me. You can drive this into them and twist and do damage. Such as say right here on the palm of my hand. Very pliable, very, you can dig in. You want to get a soft spot where you can dig in, whether it be their stomach, their forearm, right here you can dig in, the palm of their hand if you can get to it, the top of their hand. Like, you can even get up in here in the hard spots where the bones are at and drive into the bone. But one of my personal favorites that I've had to learn is, just dig into the soft part of the tissue, because that's where a lot of your nerves and tendons are. And like I said, this is not about comfortability, it's about survivability. See how I'm digging in? I'm just digging. Now, see right there, if you look, you can see the red mark where it's scraped. And don't worry, I'm not hurt. Doesn't hurt at all.
The goblin doesn't understand that a dual circular metal thing that can't cut or slice won't stop anyone. They might recoil in shock, think it's a switchblade, but once they look at it and see it's a dual circular object, they're just gonna go back to beating your ass and trying to mug you. He can't comprehend that just because you're twisting and turning something on someone's skin really fast and like hard, it doesn't mean it's actually going to hurt them or like break their skin in any way. He said it himself, it's just uncomfortable, and it barely even left a red mark on his skin. This shit isn't cutting nerves or tendons in your arm if it can barely redden your own skin. And honestly, him saying, dig in deep over and over and over again is just some type of cosmic comedy. Because for some reason, right, there's like buddy trolls, or I got like buddy pretend girlfriends in like almost every lolcow sphere. But there was one in the Cyraxx sphere, and Cyraxx is like really obsessed with his ass for some reason. So he was like digging in his ass for this like woman on Facebook, and it turned out it was William Gloryhole, who just starts like saying, dig in deep, Chance, dig in. And I just can't handle the absurdity of this shit sometimes. He's just digging with the stylus, digging in deep, no matter what.
Or, if you can, you can, take it off, use it as a brass knuckle, you can wrap it around, put that around your finger and just strike as much as you can, just bow, try to get some cuts in there if possible, just start slashing, start jabbing, boom, boom, just start, jabbing like that. What you want to do is you want to take your ring, like say that, I'm at close distance from my attacker. Say he's about this far from me. Say he's like, about right here. What you're gonna do is instead of like taking it off like this, you want to place your non-dominant hand in the ring. I don't care which finger it is, whether it's your index finger, your thumb, pinky, whatever, ring finger, it don't matter. Just get a finger in there if possible. And then with your other hand, with this hand, you want to kind of just, you want to slip it off. Reason being, because your dominant hand, you're going to swing the rope into your other hand, and then from there you can, slip it in and, boom, 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 boom. You can start, you can start swinging on them with it. You can, bam, bam, just start,
What the fuck is this supposed to do? I know I'm harping on this constantly, but he's hitting them with a light, dull object attached to a flimsy cord. What if they just start spamming jabs? That rope's not gonna be able to block anything. Just a singular punch, and the goblin's knocked out and screaming, Just all this clip reminds me of is when he's slinging this like washing machine rope thingy. Is when Marty and Cyraxx were like on a panel together, and like Cyraxx had a belt or like a makeshift whip, and he's just spamming the N word, and he's calling Marty a slave boy, and telling about how he has slaves and he needs to pick cotton for massa or he's getting whipped, and how he's an N-word boy. He's just like hitting his hand with the belt and like sitting down, dude. I can't take this seriously. This won't do any damage. It's like a toddler, punching Floyd Mayweather just over and over and over again. I feel like a singular nail between your fingers would be more effective. And what I want to know is when the homeless arc happens, is he just gonna start trying this on like the drug addicts on the streets of Akron, or is he just gonna be like paranoid, like under like a bridge, like a troll goblin, just like looking behind him all paranoid and like clutching his whip thingy, just like praying to God the trolls don't find him, or like will he try and fight the other homeless people for more territory? And get his ass beat. Like it's like some interesting shit the homeless art could go down if he doesn't like die within 2 days.
Do whatever you gotta do. And you can easily make these. All you gotta do is go to your local hardware store or wherever, you know, and you can pick these up for fairly cheap, get you some cording, stuff like that. But this is just one of my many, self-defense tools that I have on hand. This isn't just for fashion. I don't just wear this for fun. I don't just wear this because it looks cool. Because I do actually plan on getting some Nordic runes to represent my ancestors from the Nordic side of my family on here. But these tools, these weapons are very, very easy to make. Super cheap, super simple. Very effective self-defense tool. I've actually had to use this a couple times recently, and it's actually helped me out against a couple of would-be attackers.
And I need to cut in real quick. That's complete bullshit. 1,000% impossible of ever happening. Alright, the goblin has admitted to not leaving his house up to like weeks or showering up to weeks at a time with buddy trolls and friends. And that was years ago. All right, and he's like maybe showered like more. I don't know. I doubt it. But he has certainly like left the house less and less and less to the point where he barely even goes outside. He doesn't walk anywhere, and he just spends all day in the attic on his 3 working devices. And his 15-year-old laptop Chromebook thing is starting to get too old for him, so he's been using it less and less. And he switched to his Android to talk to ChatGPT. And in fact, the time he went to Cracker Barrel, I think that was the first time in like a year or maybe a handful that Ed and Sally let him go to any kind of restaurant. And I think Sally is where the goblin got this constant need to lie. Because I remember hearing, like, in the early Cyraxx days, Cyraxx would brag about, like, beating 6-foot-tall jocks up in high school. And that's obviously a lie, but why does he always need to see himself as this badass who beats up everybody when it's so far from the truth? He couldn't even beat up Ed. The time Ed punched him in the mouth, Cyraxx sat down like a little bitch.
So yeah, you can pick these up. All you gotta do is just take, like I said, get 2 washers about, this size, actually right at this size. Or if you want to go a little bigger or maybe a little smaller, you can. But I prefer this size because it's not too big, it's not too small. It fits right in the palm of your hand. You can, you can strike with it, dig in, cut, lacerate, do whatever you got to do to survive. All you do is you just, like I said, you take 2 of these. As you can see right there, I took 2 of them, put them together, wrapped the cording through, made it into a necklace. So yeah. This is my tutorial on how to make a necklace that looks good, also into a viable self-defense tool.
Alright, that's pretty much where the video ends, so I'll get to ranking the washing machine necklace brass knuckles things. Pros, it's very cheap to make, so, pretty much anyone can get this as long as they have access to a hardware store, like Chance said. No one will stop you and ask you to take it off, so it's carryable in all 50 states. It's extremely lightweight and can fit everywhere, like the guitar jacks. Cons, same as the guitar jacks. It can't puncture or stab. So if you just aggressively try and rub this against like a robber's palm like Chance does, it's just gonna lead to you getting shot or stabbed. It has shit range, unless you count like the whip formation, but that still doesn't do any damage. It can't block a punch. Like, a flail won't let you block a punch, but it'll hurt if you actually swing and hit someone. This will do jack shit and just make you look like a homeless person. I'll give it a 2.5 because it looks cooler than the guitar jacks. And it'll give Cyraxx some drip during the eventual homeless arc when he's homeless and begging for change to buy Hot Pockets. He could flash his chain and go, oh, I used to be somebody once, Bender Boys with Bender Boys Records. Bloodshot on this one, Blind Billy XX in the Dark on this one before Marty came in and just stole my entire flow.
Look.
Oh, you can see him. You can see that white blob over there.
Come on by, buddy boy.
Oh my god.
Come on by, Cyraxx. Come on by.
Let's see, like, what techniques does he use? Does he use some, like, guitar jacks, a hammer, a baseball bat? Maybe even he has the washing machine necklace. Maybe he uses some, like, taekwondo, whatever, jiu-jitsu, whatever, like, moves he was pulling off in all those training videos. Let's find out. Oh my god, he's pinned. He's pinned.
Why would you leave me alone, boy?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Get the fuck out of here. Who's the king? You are.
Who's the king?
Run away now. You shut the fuck up.
Fine. You win. You win. You win. Please let it go. I beg you. Please.
Oh my god. Oh, he got pounded. He got pickle pounded.
Get up. Get the fuck up. Bitch.
Leave me alone.
What's insane is that this is the only time, right? Whole rating bit aside, this is the only time Marty and Cyraxx ever saw each other face to face. And that is so goddamn disappointing. Holy shit. Just wow. Like, how I feel about, like, the rating, right? Seeing this clip just reminds me of that fact, and how, no matter what Cyraxx can say about Marty, the only time they met face to face, his reaction was literally calling him the king and begging for mercy. How he begs him, just please let me go, I beg of you, please. Like, how would he expect to win this? Okay, Marty fucking dwarfed him. Cyraxx is like a midget, scrawny goblin freak who needs to, like, put pepperoni on his penis to get off and have his grandmother rub eczema cream on his genitals. Dude, I can't fucking believe it. Like, he didn't even try anything. He just blindly charged at him like a goblin, dude, like a feral animal. And Marty just used the height advantage and just easily put him to the ground, punched him twice, and Cyraxx walked off. What can I say? Like, 0 out of 10. He didn't use anything he was preaching. He didn't even, like, throw a kick. He just got shoved to the ground, like, overwhelmed and beaten. And he begged for mercy. He literally, I beg of you, please. Oh, where's that clip?
Fine.
Get the fuck out of here. Who's the king?
You are.
Then run away now. You shut the fuck up.
Fine. You win. You win. You win. Please let it go. I'm begging you. Please. Don't do it
Get
again.
the fuck out of here. Get up. Get the fuck up. Bitch.
I don't think there'll like ever be a clip that surpasses this. I don't. I like. This is like at that upper echelon.
You went on a live stream claiming you gave my chain a gift to the police.
I'm. You know, okay. The one good thing we got out of the low T situation is we got to see Cyraxx's like face.
You went on a live stream
Face in HD. Look at his teeth.
claiming you gave my chain.
Look at how big that tooth is. I think that's supposed to be his front tooth. It's like curved and it's like broken. Look how big that tooth is compared to like everything else.
A gift to the police. I went to the police and it's not there. Then I see you message me and you threaten me.
I didn't do shit.
You didn't threaten me with the knife?
No, I didn't.
Punch me again. I swear to God, watch what happens.
Oh my god, dude. Look at his back. Dude, it's constantly hunched.
You need to back off. You need to leave now,
Get
brother.
in the house.
Or I'm gonna beat your.
Make me.
You won't regret
Don't
it.
make me drop you, Chance. Back
Do it.
up.
Do it.
Back up. I try to be
Do
your
it.
friend.
You didn't do shit. You
The
lied.
only one that stood up for you, all the trolls,
I've had
you're
you.
begging. Help me, help me.
I will not.
I can't believe how fucking retarded Low T is. I'm the only one that stood up to the trolls. He sounds like autistic, right? He sounds special needs. He sounds delusional. What the fuck are you on about? I'm the like. Oh my god, dude.
Fuck your ass out if you
Do
don't
it.
leave.
Also, I can't like stand. You know, Cyraxx just making all these. It's I'll knock your ass out. You know, here he has prep time. You know, I mean, like he had prep time with Marty, but here he could get the washing machine plugs. You know, washing machine necklace, the headphone, you know, the 9mm, you know, guitar jacks. I don't think he. I'm not sure if he had those at the time, but I know he had like at least probably had the washing machine necklace. And if worst came to worst, he could have had the bed bug jug and like, you know, sprayed it on him or some shit, you know, because obviously that shit's not being used. He's like hoarding that. He's keeping his friends nice and secure and safe on his bed and scalp and shit. You.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
No,
Because you lost.
What is he doing, dude? You're not gonna fight this guy.
I lost. You're a bitch. So's your girl.
Chance?
So back up.
Just go.
You're a pedo.
No, you want
You're a pedo.
and you're a dick.
And you put your hands on me so you got punched.
I didn't do
That's one punch.
I should try to.
Come here.
You missed.
Come here.
bitch.
Come here.
You missed.
You want to do it again?
You missed.
You want to do it again?
Alex! The fuck? Alex,
We
come
don't
on.
see. Oh, he's okay. We don't see him.
Wow.
We don't, is he? Where is he?
Fuck. Come on. Wow.
Okay, so Alex's like girlfriend takes the camera, and Cyraxx is nowhere. So Cyraxx just runs off to Sally. The reason why I'm saying Cyraxx is a bitch for this is because he went on to like say he had back problem. No, he had nerve damage. He had nerve damage from this, and on the 911 call that Sally gave, Sally gave, he was like, "Ow, I can't move. I can't move." And it was so egregious that even like Sally, knew to call him out on his bullshit. I guess all I really can say is Cyraxx sucks at fighting. And he just loves talking shit because he's a dumbass. And that's pretty much the end of the video. Yeah.